the next big dog. But here's the question. Can you really become a global leader when you mess around with your neighbors, when you mistreat your allies, and broadcast your ambitions before building your foundations? That's not strategy. That's self-sabotage. A lot of India's current optimism comes from looking at how China handled the Cold War. Back then, China was incredibly strategic. It played against both sides. China sided with the Soviet Union when the US was dominating and bullying back in the 1950s. And then China switched sides to cooperate with the US once the Soviets became bullying around in the 1970s. That clever balancing act helped China to attract capital, technology, and market access from both superpowers. And it laid the foundation for China's modernization. Now, many in India hope the current US-China rivalry can be their version of that moment. But here's the problem here. The India's missteps already closed their window of opportunity. Let's start with a big one. India has misread America's game plan. The US has been trying to build an Indo-Pacific coalition to counter China, and it wants to bring together countries across the global south, including Pakistan and all the other Muslim brothers around the world. But India is not on board. It refused to work with the US on resolving the Kashmir issue, sticking to its old line of no third-party involvement. That decision has pushed Pakistan even closer to China, totally undercutting America's grand strategy. Now contrast that with China in the 1970s. Beijing made a few smart adjustments to please the US, like softening its stance on Taiwan that kept Taiwan from drifting toward the Soviets and helped promote US-China cooperation. India, on the other hand, just said, no thanks, we will do this our own way. It's starting to look a lot less valuable to Washington now. India indeed should be cautious about the true intention of the American imperialists in Washington. They never treated India as an equal and never will. It sees India more like it sees Japan or South Korea, a strategic pawn, not a partner. And they do have high expectations. Washington expects India to cut ties with their traditional allies like Russia and Iran. The idea of a so-called democratic alliance sounds nice on paper. But at the end of the day, the US is looking to scramble the world for itself, not for India. If you are not sure about that, just ask the Philippines how its partnership with America played out.